think this might have been the most insane competition that I've ever been to. What's going on, you guys? It's 𝗦𝗛𝗘𝗖𝗜𝗔𝗟 here, and today we're gonna be talking about stages 1 and even stage 2, if you're lucky, of the November Ninja Fest competition put on at Obstacle Ninja Academy by Ninja legend RJ Roman. Can I just say, this competition was near perfect. The energy was amazing. The courses were amazing. The competitors were amazing. The commentators were amazing. RJ put on an amazing competition over at Obstacle Ninja Academy, and you could really tell the effort and the work that went into it. So thank you so much to everyone at Obstacle Ninja Academy who put on this killer competition. With that being said, the Ninja Sport Network streamed this competition, so you're gonna get to see my live streamed runs throughout the competition, and there's even some commentary from Ryan Stratus and 𝗦𝗦𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗦. So if you're interested in hearing that, you can go to Ninja Sport Network on YouTube, and if you go on there, you can see all of the commentated runs, not just from me, but from everyone at the competition. Ryan and Chris did really well in the commentary booth, and they really added another layer to the competition, so it was really great. So go check that out on Ninja Sport Network's YouTube channel. So before we get into my stage 1 run, we're gonna establish some rules. So rule number 1 on this course was you were allowed 8 points or more, and then you could move on. There was a max of 12 points possible on this course, and that's if you got the mega wall first try, or you could go for the normal wall. But if you got the mega wall first try, you got 3 points. If you got a second try, you got 2 points. And if you got a third try, you got 1 point. If you went for the normal wall, it was just worth 1 point. But if you completed the normal wall and the rest of the course, it's still 10 points, so you still move on to stage 2, and 8 points or more gets you to move on. There were around 100 competitors on this stage as well, so it was really crazy and intimidating going into it, and I was in the second wave of pro competitors. This course also had a time limit of 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It was more of a speed course, so the time limit wasn't too nerve-wracking, but I knew I still had to keep a move on. Now with the rules out of the way, let's get into the course. So the course run started out on these steps. Basically, you had to run across this yellow block and then go across the rest of the block. These were not too bad. They didn't move too much. They didn't tilt. It was just a nice first obstacle to build up that confidence. Obstacle number 2 was the handlebars. This one was really fun. It was just like a nice little 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧. Some people ended up linking it. I decided to link the first move, catch it, take 1 backswing and dismount. Then next was the tabletops, which was just a pretty simple balance obstacle that you had to run across. And then after the tabletops were the diving boards into the run up the truss and then catch the ape hanger. These diving boards tilted a little bit, but I have them in my backyard, so I have trained on them before. So it was nice to have that, knowing that I knew I could do them. And then after you ran up the truss, you had to grab a stronghold ape hanger, reach to a flywheel, and then there was a lunatic ledge, and this lunatic ledge swung like crazy. So you can see when I catch it, my momentum kind of gets killed a little bit, so I have to rebuild it back up. I swing, I swing, I swing some more, you know, we're just swinging out here. And then eventually I'm able to reach to the ape hanger. I take 1 backswing until I run across the big wobbly steps. These actually were heavier than I expected, so that one threw me off a little bit. And then you had to catch the nunchuck, swing all the way around the loop-de-loop, and then from there you had to reach up to the bars, 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧, and then to what was the ninja killer of the course. This was actually pretty difficult, and if you didn't have the right technique, it was tough. So basically you had to go to a big spin cycle, but it was set in a way where if you caught it wrong, your swing would die and you wouldn't be able to swing to the next obstacle. So what I did was I just reached out, and you can see I'm stretched out pretty far. This was almost my entire wingspan, but I was able to stretch out, grab the hoop, and then pull back as hard as I could, and 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 to the ring, unhook it, and then dismount to the red. And then the final obstacle before the warped walls were the elevator drops. So basically you had to catch a spinning green thing, and this was squishy too. It wasn't like a PVC, it was squishy and spinny. And then you had to catch another one, but when you caught it, it dropped immediately down. It was on magnets, so you caught it, it dropped down, and that was scary, that was very jolting. Then you had to do another one. A couple people skipped the last one, but I didn't want to be too risky. Just in case I failed, I didn't want to risk not moving on to the next stage. And then once I dismounted off there, I had a choice. Do I go for the 18-foot mega wall, or just go for the normal wall? And at this competition, I decided to go for the normal wall, just because if I went for the 18-foot mega wall and I ended up missing it, I would have had less points, and then I would have had a worse run order on stage 2. So I went for the normal wall and got it with ease, but then I got to the top, and I started slipping. Guys, this wall was actually slippery, and you can see I'm struggling to get over. I'm like, what's going on? And then once I get on top of it, I just dive for the buzzer because I'm like, that's baloney. Why? I shouldn't be slipping on a wall, but I still ended up clearing the entire course, and that means I'm moving on to stage 2. This course is really awesome, and later on in the video, in the top 3 segment, you're gonna have to see if any of these obstacles or moments made it into the top 3. It's gonna be tough though, and I don't know if you guys know why, but it's because stage 2 was absolutely crazy. Since if you got 8 or more points, you moved on, most of the elite athletes at this competition ended up moving on. So it was almost like stage 2 was a blank slate. But it wasn't the top half moving on from stage 2. You had to finish the whole course to move on, and that's no easy task, guys. Some of these obstacles were just crazy. And the reason I was so nervous though is we had a V formation in this course. Guys, you know the V formation is my nemesis. You watched me on American Ninja Warrior. I fell on it on stage 2. Roll the clip.
Be careful now, this is a little tricky too. You see these bars are quite wide. Now you do have to touch that.
Oh! Why did we roll the clip? Now I'm sad. But there was a V formation in this course, and you are gonna have to watch and see if I'm able to get my revenge on the V formation or if I fall. There were some crazy obstacles in this course, but before I show you it, we're gonna set some ground rules. So this course cut out around 20 to 30 competitors, so there was around 70-ish on this stage. The rule was you had to finish the course to move on, so if you fall anywhere, you're immediately out. And there was a 3-minute, 15-second time limit, and that was tight. A lot of people, maybe even including me, who knows, had some trouble with that time limit, maybe even timing out. We're gonna have to watch and see. Since I cleared stage 1, I was in a good run order for this stage as well, so I got to run late and watch a lot of the great athletes run. So now that we know the rules and the guidelines and all of that jazz, let's get into the run. Obstacle number 1 was the devil steps, but you know me, I see devil steps, I'm like, I don't want to do devil steps. Yeah, no, that's not really something I'm known for necessarily, but at this comp, I guess it was something I wanted to do. I didn't want to go up, down, because I felt like it would waste energy and time, so I just decided to skip straight across, boom, 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 build up that confidence for later on in the course. Next up was those same tilting, wobbly platforms you saw in stage 1, except they were more of a straight line now, and one of them wasn't tilting horizontally, so it made it a little bit more difficult. Nothing too bad though. Then next was probably my most efficient moment in the whole course on obstacle 3. It was a skyhook move where you had to grab a ring, spin it around, and then hook it into a clamp skyhook. But instead of like taking a backswing and then hooking it on and then taking another backswing and then swinging, what I decided to do was on my forward swing, I lifted it up, reached it around, immediately hooked it in so that I was already able to pull back and link the dismount right down the sliding clamp skyhook. So that was really exciting that I was able to do that, and it was just awesome because sometimes speed is one of the things that I don't always go all out on, so being able to make those confident moves in competition was just awesome. Now obstacle number 4, guys, here it is, the V formation. You can see I'm trembling in my boots leading up to this one. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but basically I was like, I'm not gonna let this thing stop me. So I linked the first move, 1, 2, we're straight up. Now this is the kind of move that I went out on the show. I'll show you a comparison on the show. I was shade down, and it was a very similar move to this one, so I was most nervous for this one, but I caught it, and then I was like, you know what, I'm out of here. Link the dismount, got my revenge on the V formation. Guys, I can't believe it. I am so happy with myself that I was able to do that. And then moving straight on from the V formation, we had a pretty cool obstacle called the trust fall. It was similar to the hammer drop from American Ninja Warrior, which I didn't get to try, so I was really happy about that. The name was super funny, trust fall. So you know what a trust fall is when your friend catches you and everything, but this was a trust fall because the trust falls down and you have to trust the trust. So it was like a really good play on words, and I commend them at Obstacle Ninja Academy for coming up with that. So basically you had to catch it, wrap yourself around it, and just absorb the impact and then climb up and over it. So that was a lot of fun. Then I took my rest leading into the next obstacle, which was the dropping salmon ladders. Guys, these were in an NNL at ONA around a year ago, and this was a more advanced version though. You had to go up the first salmon ladder, and then once you got it, you could drop it down. And then from there, you had to do like a flying bar move to another salmon ladder, and then go up that if you didn't get high enough. But I decided to go straight to the top of that one, and then shove it down as hard as you can. Guys, these took out a lot of people because they shoved it down, but then one side flew back up. So I had to be so careful to make sure both sides went down. And as you can see, that right side almost flew back up on me, and I would have been in no man's land because the rule was you had to get both sides down. And once one side went down and the other one stayed up, there was no saving it almost. So then I dismounted off that, getting ready for the penultimate obstacle. Guys, this one took out, I'd say, probably 75 to 80% of the athletes who took it on. There were only 15 clears on this entire stage out of the whole field, and we're gonna have to see if I'm gonna be able to be one of them. This obstacle was crazy. It was so jolting. It was called the pin drops. So let's get started. The most nervous part about this, for me at least, was the jump, because you had to jump to a flying squirrel that was set super high up, so when you caught it, it jolted you back. But as you can see, I was able to hold on, and then a big swing leading up to the first pin drop. Grab it, pull it in, and lock it in. First one's done. Now the second one was a huge move, guys. This could have been anywhere from 10 to 12 feet. I did not measure necessarily, but I think around 11 is a good guess. It's a huge swing, huge pendulum, and you have to go up, catch it a little bit out, and then pull it in. And am I able to catch it? Let's see. Boom, I'm able to catch it, and then I take a backswing and go, and you know the spider wall is gonna be no problem. Oh, it's a little bit of I'm slipping a little bit. Am I gonna be able to do it? Ooh, this is gonna be tough. Let's see. There we go. We're able to get up the spider wall. Guys, I ended up clearing the entire stage 2 course, and I am so psyched about this. This course was actually so crazy. Being able to clear it in competition, especially with all the pressure on me, was just such an amazing feeling. That last obstacle, the pin drops, it looks hard, but I can tell you it's one of the hardest obstacles I've ever done in competition. I know it looks decently hard, but it was so hard, and I'm so happy that I was able to clear it. You're gonna have to wait until next video. Hey, but I'll give you something for this video. It's time for everyone's favorite segment on the Electric Enzo channel, Top 3. Honestly, that stage 2 was so crazy that all of my top 3 moments are gonna come from that stage 2, but I will give an honorable mention to stage 1 because that elevator drop obstacle right before the warp wall was a ton of fun, so that gets an honorable mention for the top 3. But coming in at number 3, we have my revenge on V formation. You guys, this obstacle has haunted my dreams ever since stage 2 of American Ninja Warrior, and being able to clear it in competition put me in the feeling of pure bliss and happiness. And hopefully V formations in more competitions, just so I can keep getting more practice on it, just in case they bring it back for the future seasons of American Ninja Warrior. Coming in at number 2, we have the trust fall, because it was similar to the hammer drop, which I never got to try on the show. So it was so exciting to be able to try a similar obstacle, and it was super fun and creative. And it was super jolting as well. Having to climb on top of it was also very hard. It was just a very hard, fun obstacle. It was definitely a challenge, so I really enjoyed that obstacle. So trust fall comes in at number 2. And coming in at number 1, I have to give it to that feeling when I caught that final pin drop and I knew all I had left was to climb up that tower and hit that buzzer. Because guys, you train so hard for this Ninja Warrior sport, so the fact that I was able to go out there, have that mindset of where I know I was gonna clear, and then have it happen out there just felt so amazing to me, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to compete in these amazing competitions with these super high caliber courses. Once again, thank you so much to RJ for this amazing course. You really put a lot of effort into it, and this last obstacle was just the coolest of them all. That pin drop was so awesome, and the feeling of hitting that buzzer at the end was just spectacular. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You're gonna have to watch next time to see if I can win the entire competition, if I can finish stage 3, or if I crash, burn, and fall. Watch next time to find out. Bye.